I want to go across to Iulia Mandal, a close aide of President Zelensky, and in fact, President Zelensky emerging as a global hero, Iulia, with the kind of fight back he's been able to lead. He was caught off guard. A lot of his rhetoric seems to have been very naive in the build-up to the Russian invasion, but now he's emerging as a real hero in this David versus Goliath battle.
Hi, nice. Hi, if you hear me well, I must say that I'm not sure I've heard you well, but as of your question, what I've understood, you're talking about the communication about the risks of war. Yes, really, the president of the country was making focus on the fact that he did not want to panic in Ukraine, which is understandable from many points of view, because economy suffers from panic and people suffer from panic. And in a situation, especially such difficult situation as war, panic is always a big enemy. I even cannot say that people in such situation as now are panicking. Yes, of course, we have a lot of emotions, but usually people try to keep their head cold. And the president also repeats today that there is no need for panic. Of course, you're saying about the situation that cannot be expected ever. And the president right now is demonstrating the role of a real leader who is staying with his people to the very end. Because yesterday, the United States of America offered Volodymyr Zelensky support to lead the country when Kyiv city was heavily attacked, bombarded, where there were sabotage groups shelling in the city. But he stayed in the country and in his office to the very end. Until today, we understood that Ukraine actually fought the city back, and the Russians suffered losses in this battle. So as for today, we can definitely say that we really struggle a lot to fight Russian attack in the southeast and north of the country. We have a lot.
Speaking to different people in the Ukrainian government, you're a close associate of President Zelensky. Can you give our viewers a sense of how long the Ukrainian army hopes to be able to hold out, given the scale of the Russian assault, the sheer ferocity of the arsenal that's been unleashed on the Ukrainian people? How confident is your government that you'll be able to hold out in the face of this invasion, and for how long?
If I heard you correctly, you mentioned the Ukrainian conflict. It's not the correct thing to say. There is Russian war against Ukraine or Russian aggression against Ukraine. Ukrainians will stand to the very end. It's not easy to come and capture 40 million of Ukrainians. Putin collected 175,000 of troops, and this can heavily damage the country. But it's very difficult to imagine up to now that they can capture the country and can keep the country under their control, because they do not seem to have enough anything, any sort of resources, any people, or any techniques. What they're doing, they're heavily damaging the country and trying to gain the authority of the country. We know definitely that Russia is hunting the authority of the country and remain the president of the country.
Iulia Mandal, close associate of President Zelensky, for joining us from Kiev. Thank you very much. Iulia makes a very important point that the people will not accept Russian occupation.